folks. Friday Night Blitz Media Day is coming to you on the scene. And, of course, we have our teams. We're previewing them all. And joining me right now, of course, we have the Northside Vikings right now in the spotlight. And joining me right now, of course, the head coach in his 7th year with the Northside Vikings, Scott Fisher. And, Coach Fisher, thank you for being on the show, sir.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Friday Night Blitz Media Days. And, of course, we look back at last year, tough season, 0-10. Right now, you're on a 12-game losing streak. I mean, and I hate to even be more negative, but the last time you guys won one was October 29th, 2021. So I'm sure you guys are motivated to turn this ship around and get back to your winning ways.
I appreciate you doing your research on that. yeah. No, we are. We're just young. That's all there was to it. Young and not very strong. So yeah, it's okay.
Good deal. So what are things you feel like you've done, on the offseason to get the team rocking and rolling? Because like you mentioned before, I mean, you got more size, you got more bodies in camp. So I'm sure that's got to be a big thing.
It is. The school has really been supportive of us, win, lose, or draw. And the kids have really bought into the offseason workout. We changed that, of course. The kids are a lot stronger now. And, we're happy where we're at, honestly. The kids are older. They stayed in the program. Nobody, leaving. And I'm happy with that.
And then when you look, something new this year, of course, over at Viking Stadium, Jim Hickam Field, you join the list of other schools in our area in the turf game. Just your thoughts about getting turf over at Viking Stadium and Jim Hickam Field?
Well, the biggest thing it does is it allows all of our sport teams at the high school to participate on that field. The biggest thing it does for the football program, it gives us a place to play in inclement weather and practices.
So will you be shifting your practice down there now, or are you still going to be up here? So you're not going to be up on the upper end, but
we have a few teams still on the schedule that have grass. We'll practice up on the grass when we have it, just like everybody else. But we'll probably practice some on the grass and on the turf.
Now, Coach, when you look at your schedule, year in, year out, you play a strong schedule. 7 of your 10 teams on your schedule made the playoffs last year.
Sure.
And then when you look at overall, you have your non-district of hosting Pulaski County, start the season off. You go to K-Spring, go to Hidden Valley, so a double dip of Bogle back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
You have Salem back at home, and then you have a bye. You pick up Heritage, and then you're at Franklin County, get into the district schedule, William Fleming, at Stanton River, at Lower Bottot. You wrap up the season at home against William Byrd. Yeah. So, I mean, you're not messing around when it comes to that schedule, especially non-district.
No, sounds about right. But why play? I mean, you don't want to play somebody that, you don't want to play somebody like ourselves last year all the time, quite honestly, right? So we picked up Heritage and Coach Bradley and their staff. They always do a great job. I'd much rather play somebody that's equal or better than us every weekend just to see where we're at. Why not?
And then, looking at you talk about your team, are there anybody we should have our eyes on, anybody stands out, or anybody you feel will be making a charge to help your team succeed?
Yeah, I think, Kel Harvey is probably one of the best athletes in the Valley. He's one of our best athletes in the school. Basketball guy, I'm sure you covered him. He'll have a good year this year. He was new last year, so he'll have a good season this year, I'm hoping. Angel's back at quarterback. Javon Gibson will be back. Curtis Burns will be back. The guy's, broken the school squat record now, and I think he's getting ready to break the deadlift record. So we got some good guys back. All the offensive line guys, with the exception of Mark, are back, and they all kind of look the same now. So I'm really happy with Cooper and Logan and those guys and their commitment.
And one thing that stands out to me, we've just in a few minutes we talking before we got on the air, just the experience. These guys that didn't have a lot of experience, now you get some time on your belt, some games on your belt again. That's got to be big dividends, because obviously, I mean, Northside, is a program, obviously we look at them, with so much respect, and I know that you want these guys to succeed as much as anybody.
We do. I mean, they're all North Roanoke-based kids. We want them to succeed on and off the field. We want the people to know that when the kids come out to play, it's a community effort. And, we're real tickled. I mean, we lettered 27 freshmen and sophomore last year. And getting that experience has been nothing but good for those guys now.
And then overall, when you look at, Friday nights in the fall, it's big. You participate as a coach, a player, and all that. For Scott Fisher, what does Friday nights in the fall mean to you?
Well, it means it's a culmination of that whole week's of work for everybody. You just want to go out and play. Win and lose, that's going to happen one way or another, right? But we want our guys to build on what they're doing Monday through Thursday and then go out and play on Friday.
At the end of the day, what's going to be the key for you guys to have a successful season?
Well, we got to stay healthy, just like everybody else. Everybody probably always says that, right? But with us, it's certain. We don't have a whole lot of depth. So we got to stay healthy. And offensively, we got to move the football. We got to stay in front of the chains. And defensively, we got to show up and stop people.
You know, it's unique. I mean, obviously, I remember when I was playing at Patrick Henry, I mean, a turf field, never would have heard of that. Now it's almost like the norm, and you're in the turf club. Just how neat is it? Again, you know, the fact that we're transitioned to a point where there are more schools with turf than without turf, using natural grass.
Yeah, you know, I think it's good and bad. I know injuries, everybody always questions the injuries on the turf. Well, it's going to happen one way or another, right? And for us, like I said, it just allows all of our student athletes at Northside to participate. But it's been real fun to watch. You know, we get to see those guys down there every day, and to their credit, they've been working. They're gonna hit that deadline. So,
how much fun has this been? I mean, I know this is your 7th season. Does it seem like it's now your 7th season? I remember we talked to you when you first started. Now you're in your 7th season. So, I mean, how does that feel now that, you know, the program has your footprint, your stamp on it?
Well, the biggest thing for me was doing it the right way and having kids come back after they graduate. I think that's a little way that you can measure yourself as a coach in any sport if the kids come back and they enjoy talking to you when they're no longer in the program. And that goes, you know, for the parents as well. So right now that's in good shape, and I'm happy where we're at.
And then obviously, you know, one thing I've noticed, you know, just building up the program, but not only at the high school level, at your varsity level, I mean, the JV and even the middle school level, I mean, you're starting to get guys that have now seen what a Scott Fisher program looks like. And I'm sure, obviously, when you look at that middle school and the junior varsity and varsity, that's got to be real huge to build up that program in your depth.
Yeah, that's really been good for us. Austin, my middle son, runs a middle school program now. I'm really happy for him because he does a really good job getting out in the community in the rec club division down there and recruiting those kids to come out and play. When we took the program over, we were getting 7 or 8 guys over from the middle school program to play with us. Now we're averaging 20 to 21. And those kids that are playing now is a direct relationship from what he's done over there. So I'm really happy for that.
I tell you what, we're getting ready to start practice. We're starting to get the season going. I know you're ready.
July 27th, we'll be ready, 9 o'clock.
Good. Oh, 9 a.m.?
9 a.m.
It'll be on the turf.
I hope to be on the turf.
On the turf.
Yes.
Not. I mean, you'll take the grass.
We'll take the grass.
But we have the turf, which will be in play.
It'll be in play, I hope. We'll see how that goes. I feel confident that we'll be on the turf.
You know, you could put that coach speak in there and say, look, let's get it going. There's a timeline. We have a deadline.
Miss Green will take care of that. I'm sure that'll be all fine. So,
Good deal. Coach Fisher, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And the Northside Vikings, they get the season underway as they start at home on the new turf, Viking Field, Jim Hickam Field, taking on the Pulaski County Cougars on August the 25th. As we put a wrap on this portion of Friday Night Blitz Media Days as we get you ready for the 2023 season.
I know last year was kind of rough, but what did you guys learn about yourselves after last season?
We just got to keep going, keep pushing, just to be a better leader, better person, better hard worker and everything.
How tough was it to go week by week and you know, not being able to finish and get the win?
You know it's hard, but you got to keep a positive attitude at all times. I mean, I'm always smiling. I'm always trying to keep positive.
Where does that positive attitude come from?
My mom. My mom's a hard worker. She's a tough lady. It doesn't come easy.
I'm sure. Where did your love for football come from?
My dad probably.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how did that happen? Just see.
My mom always told me about him, like growing up as a kid, just how he was.
What stories would he tell? What she tell you?
Just how he was always strong. He was always the biggest person in the room. He was always strong. He was always better than everybody else.
What was it about football that kind of kept you in the game, that kept you motivated even through all the struggles?
The love for the team, the love for the coaches, the love for everything. It's always love.
Can you talk about the camaraderie and just like, that love between teammates, how that kept you pushing forward?
Like, they always keep my head up. I always keep their heads up. They always had my back when I was down, when everybody else was down. They always try to keep it up.
And so primarily on defense, right? Like, why that position in terms of just what made you feel like you excel more there?
Because I'm just, how can I explain this? I'm just a faster guy than I feel like I could be used more.
Yeah, and hardworking for sure.
Yes, sir.
I feel like now I can draw on some personal experience. You in the weight room, you're always there. You're always hungry. Tell me about like the mentality you have every time you go into the gym. You're always like working hard, putting on weights there.
Well, sometimes it's different. Sometimes I don't even want to go, but then again, I have to go, because of that chip on my shoulder.
And you usually walk to the gym, right?
Yes, sir.
How far is that?
It's like 10 minutes.
Okay.
But I'm driving now, so.
Okay, oh, good for you. Good for you. But staying motivated, is that something you guys talk about as a group? Like,
It's big.
Yeah, I mean, what are some of those conversations like?
Just always got to stay on the grind. If you're not on the grind, then it's not going to work. Nothing's going to work if you don't put in the work.
Is it the idea that eventually this will all pay off? You're not seeing it now, but we're going to get there eventually.
It's definitely going to pay off.
How is that, like, have you imagined what that's going to feel like when you guys finally get that long-awaited win?
Well, I can see us all just smiling and have a good time after. I can definitely see us partying.
What makes you think this year is going to be different? What is it about the mentality of this team or the work ethic that makes you guys think this is not going to be what we had last year?
We have nothing to lose. I mean, we're on edge, but at the same time we're not. So really the opponent should be scared of us, if that makes sense.
Talk about your teammate here who's the sophomore quarterback, clearly willing to step up as a leader. How does that make you guys feel as a whole when you see someone who's willing to step up, leading by example? What does that do to the rest of the team?
It brings us up as a whole leader. He's a leader. He's an amazing person.
Talk more about that. Just like, what is it about his work ethic and style that like has you buying into what he's doing as a leader?
He'll bring the 7th and 6th graders up to even when we're working out, make them move faster and harder and push them just to be better.
In a way, does he kind of inspire you guys during practice, and how so?
Definitely.
Like how does he kind of inspire you?
Just, I mean, he's always been working. Even when he's just a sophomore, even when he's a freshman, he's just working more than seniors, if that.
And the buy-in during the off season, like it's not just you who I see at the gym. It's like almost the entire team. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, just like, what does that say about, just the drive that you guys have going into this year?
It's way different.
Yeah.
Way different. Better leaders, just better people, just a better chemistry and all.
And talk about Coach Fisher, just kind of letting you guys be who you are. How has he kind of allowed you to grow into the roles that you guys have now?
Let loose, just kind of like listen to us in a way. It just makes it way better.
What's special about Northside football, especially on a Friday night, just, running out onto that field, that special atmosphere that you guys have? Tell me just about how that special that is.
Well, like, it's all about the inspiration, all about the crowd, all about the sounds of the bell and I want that back. I really want that back.
Well, that starts in practice, so in a couple of weeks you guys go start camp. Tell me about how intense that's going to be. What do you guys are trying to do just in those first few days alone, just to be as ready as you can?
Drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water.
Yeah,
Gotta condition. Gotta be ready.
Yeah, that's where it starts, man. You got anything? You got anything else? You're good. All right, appreciate it, man. That was good. How do you feel about that going into your sophomore year?
Ready, humble, and just ready to compete.
What do you think has prepared you for this moment?
Everything from last year going on to that got my head back right. It made me work harder, made me want to go more. Instead of, slacking, made me want to push myself in the weight room, outside of the weight room, being a leader outside and inside. So that's just how I got myself prepared for this season upcoming.
Talk about last year a bit. What did you learn about yourself going through the motions of last year?
Stop trying to be somebody else. Be yourself. And I tried to play a role that wasn't me. So this year I'm gonna be me, and y'all see the difference.
Yeah. Well, so what were you trying to do last year that obviously wasn't you? Were you trying too hard or trying?
I want myself. I didn't play like myself. I was trying to, y'all know Sid. Y'all know how he did his freshman year. So I was just trying to come in and play that spot instead of being Angel. So this year, that's just how it's going to be. Y'all going to see Angel, not somebody that's, going out there scared and not ready to play.
Yeah, you're not saying you're Angel. So who is Angel? I mean, we talked about that a little bit, but who is the guy that comes out onto the football field?
A humble, a leader kid, a guy who everybody looks up to. So that's how I carry myself is, make sure I'm a leader on and off the field.
Let's talk about the off season a little bit. The work that you've put in and the time you've spent either poring over film or trying to read that and study that playbook all the time. Talk about the effort that you've put in so far.
It takes a lot. And it doesn't just take me. It takes me getting my team too. You know, I can't just do it all by myself. So what I worked on this year is just getting my team ready. And, you know, I'm the quarterback, so, you know, I'm the head guy. I got to make sure my team's behind me. So that's what I worked on this year, just, you know, having my guy. I'm a lead, and everybody else will follow. And then after that, it'll leak on to everybody else. And then they'll start to become leaders, and then it'll leak on to their guys. Like my O-line, I tried to be a leader for them. So then when they see that I'm leading, they'll go lead for their O-line guys.
How do you feel like you've grown as a leader, even just in the last, like, you know, 6
I feel like I have. Last year, you know, I stayed quiet. Wasn't, you know, a leader out there. I wasn't talking. I was just calling the play, going out there, snapping the ball. Now I got to take control over it and go be myself.
Do you feel a lot more comfortable in that
Yeah, I
role?
feel way more comfortable.
Even being just vocal and all
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I'm sure that wasn't easy. So how did you get into football in the first place? Like, how did that come together?
I actually don't know. Like my dad we started. I was wrestling. I wrestled, so we started a new sport. I was like, well, I want to go play football. And then, you know, I was never at an actual quarterback. I was just a guy that was fast, and they just put me at quarterback and ran me. So 7th grade year is when I was like, I want to become a quarterback. So
there must have been something about being a quarterback that's kept you in it. What is it about this position that has you keep coming back?
I like you know, having everything on my back. You know, I like being the biggest guy. You know, having everybody know like it's all on you. It's gonna fall on you. I like having that pressure.
With pressure comes responsibility. Talk about just having that and how you deal with that kind of pressure.
Stay focused. Don't let the hype get to you. Don't let yourself get overhyped. Just keep working, keep grinding, and then everything else will fall through.
So you're a wrestler first, and then became.
I'm both.
You're both.
I don't choose.
Gotcha.
You know.
Well, I meant like, were you wrestling?
Oh yeah,
first?
I started wrestling
you started
first.
Wrestling first, and then,
yeah.
When did you start wrestling?
When I was 4 years old.
Okay. And then you kept kind of doing that into middle school. Are you now just focused on football, or do you still wrestle?
I still wrestle, yeah.
How does it help you, especially with, I mean, when you're a wrestler, you enter the mat, it's, first off, such a mental battle as well, just trying to hold on and then also trying to defeat your opponent. How do you feel like your success on the mat helps translate into finding success on the football field?
I mean, it just keeps you in shape, and also, you know, it's a mental part. Wrestling, everybody thinks it's physical. Nah, it's a mental game, and in football, it's a mental game. So, you know, when it helped me when I was just one-on-one with one guy, and I had to depend on myself and nobody else. So when I come out on the field, you know, sometimes you gotta depend on yourself. You gotta trust yourself and believe in yourself. So that's how it helped me. Just help my mind get right, and help me in a mental state.
Yeah, the mental toughness kind of translates to both the mat and the field, right? As a leader, like, what do you like about your team going into this upcoming year?
They're working harder than ever, you know, during weightlifting, the field, you know, just coming over to the house, I see changes. There's so many different changes, and it's just amazing how, you know, you go from an 0-10 season to now you're rebuilding, you're trying to get back on that grind, and you see your boys, everybody else is grinding with you. So it puts a smile on your face, you know.
Does that motivate you how last year went? I mean, everyone looks on paper.
Yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, everybody's going to talk, but we're going to do the walking this year.
Yeah. What are some of the goals that you guys have talked about as a team going into this year?
Don't let the noise get to us. You know, we started off 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, and we kept going on that roll instead of, you know, all right, well, we lost this game. Let's go back into next week having a short memory. We got to have a short memory this year. You know, if we go out and we give up a touchdown on the first drive, that's all right. We got to go get it back. I depend on my defense. The defense depends on the offense.
Do you feel like you're going into this year as a team, wanting to prove a lot of people wrong?
Yeah, we got something to prove, and that's one thing I noticed that all my guys have. You know, they're hungry. They're hungry. They're tired of everybody saying, "Oh, you're 0-10. Oh, you suck. You're trash." We want to shut that up. We're not going to shut it up with talking. We're going to shut it up with, you know, during the game, week 1, Pulaski, or, you know, even the scrimmage, August 12th. So that's how we're winning today. We're not trying to win August 12th. We're trying to win today, and then tomorrow, and then the next day. Because if you win now, it'll be a cakewalk when you get there.
And for you personally, are you motivated by people who might overlook you because you're a sophomore quarterback?
Yeah. I know a lot of people overlook me. They're like, "Oh, well, you didn't have a great freshman year. That don't change nothing." You know, I'm a work. That's how I am. I'm a hard worker, and I'm gonna stay working hard. I don't let the noise get to me.
Have you thought about what it's going to feel like when you guys can finally break that losing streak and finally get that win?
It's gonna feel great. You know, it's gonna put a smile on everybody's faces.
What's it going to take for you guys to just to get that first win?
Everything. You know, it's gonna take us. It's gonna take everything. It's gonna take, you know, working from the off season to now. And it's just gonna take everything.
Can I ask about your tattoo?
This is my best friend, Kip. He passed away. He was a 2-time state champ, and you know, I've known him since I started wrestling. He's the reason I started wrestling. So, he passed away when he was 19, I believe, or 18.
Do you go to Northside or?
No, he went to Cave Spring.
Okay.
Kip Niger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Oh. Tell me a bit more about him. What was he like as a person?
He was just everything you could ask for. You know, your best friend, a leader. You know, he just played a great role model to me. You know, and sorry, I get a little emotional talking about him. That was my best friend, though. He just meant everything to me, literally everything. You know.
You guys wrestled together.
Yeah.
What was he like as a competitor?
He was hard-headed. He hated losing. He was so used to winning. So when he lost, it was just like, oh, gotta go get back to work. But he was a hothead for sure.
I wonder when you're at practice or maybe when you're in a game or you had a tough play, do you look down at your tattoo and
I just got this recently, and
Okay.
you know, actually, I looked down at it the other day. My buddy Landon saw it. He texted me. He was like, "Hey, you want to come out to the field?" And I was like, "Well, man, I'm sore. I'm tired." And I looked down, and you know, my saying is for Kip. That's how everything is. It's always been for Kip. So I looked down, and I was just like, "Why not? What would Kip do? Kip would go and run that extra mile, do that extra sprint, do that extra wrestling match. You know." So that's just how I always look at it. And knowing that he's right there on my arm, you know, it pushes me more because, you know, I know what he would do.
Yeah, that's great. How long ago did you get that?
I think I got it July. I think I got it on the 4th.
Okay, well,
I think I got it on
super
4th.
recent, like literally like yesterday. That's cool, man. Anything else? Did you want to anything?
Well, I just felt like in terms of buying in, you already had some dates already seared into your memory.
Yeah.
I mean, you taking this season with just an extra side of seriousness, I guess. There's a chip on your shoulder.
So you can look at me. When
Yeah, you can look at
Oh,
me.
my bad.
Yeah, sorry, you're good. You can ask the question then. Yeah, what was your question?
If you don't mind just talking a little bit about that chip on your shoulder and how much this season kind of means to you.
I mean, it means everything, you know. It's when you walk around and you're the quarterback, everybody's going to come to you. They're going to depend on you. So I got to be there for them. They got to be there for me. And, you know, it's not necessarily a chip on my shoulder. It's just something that, you know, you got to shut the talking up. I've never had a chip on my shoulder. That's never been the case. It's just last year I didn't work hard enough, and I take 0-10 fully on my shoulders. You know, that's just how it is. You know, sometimes you got to take that. You got to take responsibility. That's how I've always been.
You have you come off as a really strong person. I'm wondering, do you have a good support system around
My
you?
dad and my mom, man, they've had my back since I was little, and you know, Tim Neininger, Scott Fisher, you know, Scott made me feel like home. As soon as I walked in the door, it was just, man, here you go. Here's everything you need.
They let you be you first.
Yeah.
So that you can go
Develop.
onto the field and take on that.
Yeah, when I come into the locker room, you know, I want to be myself.
Yeah.
So then it leaks onto the field. I can be myself, and I think Scott has done a very good job by letting me be myself, and it's gonna show this year.
Sounds good, man.
It sounds like you're your biggest competition. Is that what you would say?
Yeah. I'm definitely my worst enemy and my best friend at the same time. So when I get in my head, you'll see it. But we're gonna try this year not to do that.
Well, we're rooting for you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good luck.